Hi, welcome to Understanding Ohio Law. I'm Jill Snitcher McQuain with the Columbus Bar Association. Today we're talking about Ohio's bicycle laws. We're here with Mark Kittrick of Kittrick, Lewis & Harris. Mark does a lot of personal injury work, including accidents. Mark, thanks for being here today. Can you tell us generally about the law for cyclists in Ohio?
Jill, Ohio is finally catching up to the majority of states in the United States, which is we must pass a cyclist in a car by 3 feet or more as a safe distance.
What is the consequence of not allowing that safe distance?
There are 2 consequences, Jill, for not allowing that distance. One is you can get cited, it's a minor misdemeanor, and 2, in more practical terms, there may be a collision between the cyclist, and that would not be good at all.
What about other safety guidelines under the new Ohio law? Are helmets required?
A lot of people almost think a bicyclist should have a helmet, or why aren't they wearing a helmet? There's no law that requires the use of a helmet except for anyone under 18. So anyone from 3 or 4 up to 18 has to wear a helmet, but no requirement otherwise.
Are you required to have lighting on your bicycle at any certain time?
That's a great point. The lighting, especially from dawn to dusk, requires a very bright light in the front of the bicycle as well as in the back, a red reflector with a light. Also make sure your bicycle has enough lighting front and back that is in accord with Ohio law so you can be seen night or day. We certainly advise people wear colorful clothing. Be visible, don't wear black so that you can't be seen. Wear something not necessarily reflective, but something that makes you easier to be seen anywhere on the roadway.
So I know there are a lot of resources online and in the community about cycling safety. What about some safety tips for the motorists who are passing the cars in addition to the safe distance?
Don't drive distracted. We're seeing way too much people playing around with their phones, trying to text, which is in of itself a violation of the law in Ohio. Don't do that, because if you do any distracted driving, you're talking 1 to 3 seconds, you're not looking at the roadway, which means an innocent pedestrian or cyclist is going to get hit potentially.
Tell us if, in the unfortunate circumstance, there is a collision between a motor vehicle and a cyclist. What are some next steps for the injured parties or the parties infected?
Well, unfortunately, we see some of the worst crashes we see, wrecks are the bicyclists getting hit by cars. I mean, you think about it, it's just a human being hit by thousands of pounds of steel with minimal protection. Even with a helmet, you've got all the limbs and extremities to worry about. What we're finding, Jill, is that there's usually brain or head injury as well as fractures of the limbs. So obviously calling 911 and not moving the victim is critical, and getting someone that knows how to take care of someone under severe circumstances. Preserve the evidence, don't move things, so that way the police can take pictures and make sure that they see who's done what, because typically there's different versions of a crash when you start asking people.
So walk us through the steps of what happens following an accident in terms of determining liability.
Well, that's a great question, and this is really important for your viewers. So obviously anybody driving a car should have liability insurance. That's required under Ohio law. If the car driver doesn't have insurance, the bicyclist's own car insurance will apply, even though they're not in their car. It's called uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage.
Great. This has all been very helpful. We really appreciate you being here today. If anyone is looking for an attorney and you're not quite sure where to turn, call the Columbus Bar Association. Mark is just one of the many attorneys that we work with that can be helpful.